One of the most intriguing and tragic stories in history is the downfall of the Aztec Empire, a series of events that led to the collapse of the Aztec civilization. I want to reimagine the past and create a story in which the Aztecs get a chance of survival. In the process, I've created some of the craziest dioramas I've ever built. It took me 120 days to build, create a story, and film what I'm about to show you. So enjoy, and make sure you stick around till the end, because you'll see an incredible animal that's extinct in the wild and was once worshipped as a god by the Aztecs. Welcome to this episode of In the year 1519, the Aztec Empire is only 91 years old, but has conquered a vast territory stretching from coast to coast in central Mexico. Their capital, Tenochtitlan, is located in the middle of a lake and is one of the largest cities in the world, larger than London or Paris at the time. At the height of their power, the Aztecs encountered strangers from across the ocean. Men riding on never-seen-before animals, armed with powerful weapons. A group of Spanish conquistadors under the command of Hernán Cortés. These foreigners were welcomed peacefully by the Aztecs at first, but they would later prove to be a lethal threat to their entire society.
In 1519, at the moment of first contact, the Spaniards had smallpox with them. And now the smallpox is burning through the Aztec population. Smallpox is nasty. It's about a 25% morbidity rate.
This was because the Aztecs, unlike the Spaniards, had no immunities and no experience in dealing with this new disease.
Vulnerable Aztecs were at its mercy. Thousands perished in short succession, and by the end of the year 1520, it is estimated that the disease had killed some 8 million people in the area now known as Mexico.
But the disease wouldn't stop with the Aztecs.
After the initial outbreak in Tenochtitlan in 1520, smallpox, along with several other old world exclusives like measles and influenza, would lead to the deaths of a truly staggering number of Native Americans. We're talking many tens of millions here, though the real figures will likely never be known.
To put things in perspective, when Cortés arrived, the native population is estimated to have been around 30 million. Within just 50 years, that number had plummeted to roughly 3 million, largely due to infectious diseases brought over from the Old World. That's the tragedy of history. But what if we created our own story? What if this time the Aztecs had a chance? Our tale takes us to the time of the smallpox outbreak. Let's meet a young Aztec warrior called Negahual. Like so many of his people, his elderly parents have died and his little sister has contracted the strange new sickness. The foreigners call it smallpox. The Aztecs call it a curse. Negahual calls it his mission to find a cure no matter the cost. There is little hope, but Negahual has heard myths about the god who might be the key to survival. Axolotl, the god of change and adaptation. Negahual searches the city library for old stories and references to this god. He finds clues in the codices, books the Aztecs made from tree bark paper. Legend says Axolotl was once fleeing from divine judgment. To escape, he changed his form into a corn plant, then into an agave, and finally into an axolotl. According to the myth, the god remains trapped in this form, hidden deep within a lost Aztec temple to the south. Negahual decides to risk everything to find his mythical axolotl. He prepares for a dangerous journey into the unknown. traveling south for 5 days, our young warrior discovers a path leading up the rainforest mountains. A wooden bridge spans over a dark pit. Negahual spots movement in the dark. If the bridge collapses, he would end up as food for the worms. But not moving forward makes him a prey for other dangers. So he takes a chance and he walks. Thankfully the bridge holds and Negahual makes it to the other side. Suddenly the weather changes and thick clouds roll in. The tropical storm makes his path too slippery to continue, so he decides to take shelter overnight. He wakes up in the middle of the night, and the storm has passed. Negahual gazes at the stars, when suddenly he sees an orange line of light crossing the night sky. He wonders what omen this might be as he goes back to sleep. Negahual wakes up feeling weak and feverish. He discovers clusters of vesicles on his arm, an unmistakable sign that he too has been claimed by the new sickness. Delirious from fever, he no longer knows whether the jungle creatures are real or figments of his imagination. He stumbles forward, driven by the feeling that the temple is near. But the path ahead is treacherous. One wrong step could mean certain death. Negahual crosses with shaky legs. Pushing through underbrush, he spots a large man-made structure. He finally found it! Negahual can't believe his eyes. The lost Aztec temple. He's stunned by the beauty of this place. The diversity in here is incredible. Negahual spots floating plants. Those thrive only in calm, unpolluted water, something his people understand and use as natural indicators for their fresh water. Their roots not only filter organic waste, they also offer spots for animals to lay their eggs in. The water is filled with life. Colorful fish and small shrimp call the sunken part of the temple their home. Negahual lights a torch and studies the murals. They depict a tale he found in one of the codices, the transformation of axolotl. He's absolutely sure that he found the right temple, but there is no sight of a god in the shape of an axolotl. Is he too late? Suddenly his eyes catch something gleaming in the water. It's an obsidian dagger. Obsidian is naturally formed volcanic glass the Aztecs widely used for tools, weapons and rituals. It can be flaked into razor-sharp edges and is harder compared to the known metals gold, silver and copper. Negahual jumps into the water. Now before we find out what the mysterious dagger is for, I want to say thank you for watching this far. I try to put a lot of effort into creating a unique channel by combining detailed dioramas, nature, storytelling and history. There are no other videos on YouTube that combine them quite like this. So if you enjoy watching, please consider subscribe before this channel disappears in the void and you'll never see it again. And if you want to take your support a step further, join the first 10 premium members on Patreon. Special shout out to those already helping me out. Negahual is able to retrieve the obsidian dagger. Exhausted and with the dagger in hand, he stares at the altar. Suddenly it seems like the relief with the axolotl changes colors. And it dawns on him. In order for his god to heal his people, there must be a sacrifice. Instead of being afraid, Negahual seems to be at peace. He found what he came for, and there's only one thing left for him to do. God Axolotl is free at last. His current form is the animal axolotl. But what sort of animal is this exactly, and why does it look the way it does? With feathery gills, it breathes underwater and never needs to go on land. Unlike most amphibians, the axolotl never undergoes full metamorphosis, remaining in its larval form for life, a phenomenon called neoteny. This allows it to regenerate lost limbs, organs, even parts of his heart and brain. A power fitting a god and studied for modern medicine. But this creature, once abundant in the lakes of ancient Mexico, is now mostly extinct in the wild due to habitat destruction, pollution and invasive species. While wild axolotl numbers are estimated to be in the low hundreds, they survive in research labs, universities, pet stores and private aquariums. Their population in captivity is estimated to be around 1 million. An axolotl's diet consists mainly of small aquatic creatures like worms, insects and tiny fish, which it swallows whole. With poor eyesight, it's not the most accurate hunter, as it tries to eat a root here. Or here it hunts a pretty slow snail. And snail escapes. Now, how could axolotl with the powers of adaptation and regeneration stop an epidemic? We left off with Negahual's sacrifice flowing down the altar, carrying the smallpox virus. As it reaches the water, axolotl makes contact with it. His adaptive body creates powerful lymphocytes, cells capable of destroying the virus. Axolotl spreads those cells into the water like a living cure. This water reaches the streams and rivers of the Mexican Valley. And as the natives drink from it, their bodies are able to heal from the sickness. As this antidote spreads, the Mesoamerican world regenerates. If this story were real, its ripple effects could have reshaped history. What if the Aztecs, instead of collapsing, remained a powerful force? Would they have started trading their gold for European weapons? What would have happened to their religion as they encountered more and more Christian missionaries? How would language, architecture and social norms would have evolved if they survived into modernity on their own terms? And not just the Aztecs, but also the Incas to the south, and the many other civilizations of the Americas. If you enjoyed this video, here's another one going back to the ancient Egypts, exploring a different way that 10 plagues could have looked like. And thank you for watching.